it's Maggie J, and Hurricane Irma has dominated the headlines for what feels like 45 weeks already. And between prepping and being without power and just general exhaustion, I'm not going to produce a Florida's Finest for this week. Instead, let's talk about this storm, because I'm sure you haven't heard enough of it yet. If you've seen my previous video about acting like a maniac at the Sam's Club in Brandon, you know I was having a hard time finding water. Luckily, Mr. Maggie's job gave out a bunch of bottles, so that was really awesome. If I could just take a moment here to be a water snob, Dasani and Aquafina are garbage water, and they ought to be given away anytime anybody's in need, because it's nearly worthless. How is it possible to make water that makes you more thirsty? That's all. We spent the storm in Hernando County 4 lovely nights with my family, and we tried to board up the windows, but we didn't have any plywood, and neither did the stores. So luckily my dad knows people, and they managed to get us some plywood. Thank you, Dan and Jill. Thank you. So by Sunday night, we were all boarded up. I had drank a lot of wine and forced the family to eat spaghetti over and over again. I'm sorry, guys. Then we find out the storm has taken a turn and was going over the state instead of traveling up the coast. So it would only be a Category 1 by the time we got to Hernando County. So we completely relaxed. Nobody gives a shit anymore because we've been through these storms, what, twice a year? But then the power went out. Of course. Before the storm even got close to us, we're without power. At some point, we decide to go outside before the weather gets too bad so the smokers could smoke and we could get out of the hot house. Oh my goodness, so hot. And we wound up sitting around this tiny little fire, waiting for the wind to pick up or for the rain to start hitting us sideways. But we felt almost nothing under my mom's back porch awning. So we sat out there for nearly the whole storm. So in the end, aside from the power going out and still being out for half of my family, we fared pretty well throughout the storm. But the most important thing is to go over what we've learned. Number 1, get prepared. Every year, hurricane season comes around, and us idiot minimizers are like, if anything happens, we'll get ready then. And this is why there was such a rush on water and canned goods. How about next year we promise ourselves that we will try to have at least some of these supplies on hand before anything happens, like batteries, candles, flashlights, extra toilet paper, extra canned goods. If you have the space for it, maybe a little bit of water, probably some gas cans, some tarps. And I had to add this one to the list because it was unexpected for me. Pre-cut plywood. I didn't realize that it would take us like 7 hours to hang all of the windows in my mom's house with the plywood. It took all friggin' day. Do not underestimate how long it can take to measure, cut, and hang this plywood, especially when it is hot or when the weather is not cooperating or when your drills keep fucking dying. Plywood is only good if you get it up before the debris starts flying. If you're buying bottled water to use for cooking or for hygiene, that's dumb. Fill up containers that you already have with tap water and use that for everything but drinking. If your water is of terrible quality, fucking move. Don't let the man hold you back by forcing you to accept subpar water. This is America! 2, if you have a generator, don't be an asshole and run it 24 hours a day. Your refrigerator food will fare just fine with a little bit of intermittent power. And your neighbors will love you a whole lot more if you are not constantly filling up the neighborhood with this droning sound of your incessant generator. We don't have any TVs or radios or anything to cover up that sound with, so you're just annoying everyone. Be a little courteous to those who surround your property. 3, don't drive around looking at storm damage immediately after the storm or before power has been restored, unless you're also going to figure out how to behave when a traffic light goes out. Here's a hint. It is a 4-way stop. Every vehicle is to stop, wait their turn, then slowly travel through the intersection so as to not cause any accidents. If you can't handle that, stay your ass at home. And better yet, stay home anyways. You're supposed to have several days of supplies. So why are you going anywhere if you're not a first responder? Stay your ass at home. This has truly been a one-of-a-kind storm. With its sustained intensity and unpredictable path, I am very glad that it wasn't any worse. Even though some of us Floridians have lost everything. I hope it won't take long for us all to recover and get back to what we consider normal. No matter how often these storms roll into town though, I don't think that we'll ever get used to being without power. So please share your favorite non-powered activity that you use to pass the time in the comments below. I have got to get to work on a new Florida's Finest because even during a disaster, Florida man never sleeps. Stay safe out there, Florida. Be helpful and don't forget to be awesome. Special thanks to my daughter for my makeup and for helping me with the backdrop over here. She was running the production the whole time. There are also 2, if not 75 frogs within hearing distance. I'm pretty sure you can hear them. Listen closely. That was not a frog. I just dropped the phone. Here we go, back to the fire. Hey, we made it back to Plant City, and I'm pleased to announce that Payless is open. Not much else is, but it's open. I have found it, the heart of the destruction in Plant City. I hope that you are not planning on going on the fitness trail through the park, because this bitch is in your way. Yeah, no, I think they got them all these shitty old trees. Well, press F for respect.